Whether you're an owner, seller, or buyer, you should know what an appraisal is and how it affects the sale of your home. Find out here, because today we're talking about appraisals. Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel, Kelly's Corner of Real Estate. I am Kelly Wise, a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland. Please do me a favor and click that like, subscribe, and the bell so that you are notified when there is new videos here every weekend on seller tips, buyer tips, and community info. What is an appraisal? Simply put, it is an unbiased opinion by a licensed appraiser of the value of your home. The appraiser will come out, they'll look at the condition, location, and features of your home. They compare it to recent sales in your neighborhood, and then they look up what they have seen in a book called the Uniform Residential Appraisal Report. And based on that, they assign value to all the things that they saw for the features like upgrades of kitchens, and they arrive at the value of your home. When is an appraisal required? It's required in two scenarios. One is when a mortgage is involved, and two is if there's a gift of equity. Now let's go to one. So if you are buying a home using lended funds, or if you are refinancing your home, then the lender is going to require an appraisal. The appraisal is required so that the lender knows that they are not overextending to the borrower based on the asset that they are using as collateral. That way, in worst case scenario, if the lender has to take back the home to get their money because of lack of payment, then they know that they should be able to recoup the value that they have lended out. Now, the second scenario may be a little new to people, which is gift of equity. This is usually when a seller sells a home to a close relative or someone that they are very close to in their life. And what they do is they sell the home below market value, which is the appraised value. And the equity or gift of equity is the difference between that market value price and the sales price. Oftentimes, lenders will let the buyer utilize the gift of equity for down payments. When selling or buying a home, the buyer usually pays for the appraisal. So what happens after the buyer receives that appraisal? Well, there's a happy scenario and a not so happy scenario. In the happy scenario, that is when the appraisal comes in at the sales price or above the sales price. In this circumstance, then the sale should move forward. If it comes in at, there's nothing really to do. If it comes in above, then yay for the buyer, they get to move in with a little bit of equity. Now, the sad scenario, which is when it comes in under the sales price. In this circumstance, there are several options that can take place. One, if the buyer really wants a home, they may want to just pay the difference. The seller would be very happy. The buyer would probably not be so happy. The next scenario is that the seller and the buyer split the difference. So let's say that it underappraised by $1,000. In this scenario, the buyer pays $500, the seller pays $500, and the sale moves forward. Now, let's say that the seller is very unhappy. The buyer doesn't want to come up. They don't want to split the difference. Well, they can drop the sales price down to the new appraised value. This is actually what happens most commonly. However, there's another circumstance with today's hot sellers market. There are generally multiple offers within the first 1 or 2 weekends of a home being on the market. So if this happened the first time around, it probably will happen the second time around. And that means that the seller has the option of saying, forget it, I don't want to pay the difference, I don't want to split the difference, I want to put the home back on the market. This is not great for the buyer because they have to start all over again. The seller also may have to start all over again unless their agent was able to secure a backup offer the first time around. However, it may be worth it because a different appraiser will come out and they may get a better value the second time around. Well, guys, that's all I have for you on appraisals. If you have any questions for me, please leave a comment down below. I'm happy to answer them. And if you are thinking of selling or buying in the state of Maryland, give me a call because I'm happy to help. Thanks again for watching. My name is Kelly Wise. I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland, and I will see you guys next weekend. Bye now.